The starship Odyssey glided through the atmosphere of Zytheria, weaving between iridescent clouds that glowed like a celestial painting. Captain Alex Reynolds leaned against the console, his heart racing with anticipation. This mission could redefine humanity's relationship with the Tharkiv, an alien species known for their unyielding strength and warrior culture. "Captain, we are entering the landing zone," said Lieutenant Mia Chun, her fingers dancing across the controls with practiced ease. "Understood, Mia. Let's make our entry smooth." He glanced at her. "How's the mood down there?" Mia raised an eyebrow. "Tense. I think they're expecting a show of strength, not diplomacy." "Great. Just what we need," Alex muttered under his breath, running a hand through his short hair. As the Odyssey touched down, the doors slid open with a hiss, revealing a vibrant landscape. Vast green fields adorned with alien flora stretched for miles, contrasting with the harsh mountain ranges in the distance. Alex adjusted his uniform, steeling himself for what lay ahead. "Ready?" Mia asked, her voice steady. "Let's do this." He took a deep breath and stepped off the ship. Standing on the tarmac was a gathering of the Tharkiv warriors, their impressive forms clad in ornate armor that glinted in the sunlight. At the forefront was Leora, a figure of undeniable strength and beauty. He noted the way her posture radiated authority, a natural leader among her people. "Welcome, humans," she said, her voice resonant and commanding. "I am Leora of the Tharkiv. We meet under the shadow of our past." "Captain Alex Reynolds," he replied with a firm nod. "We come in peace and the hope of forming a new alliance." Leora's sharp gaze assessed him as if gauging his worth. "Hope? A fragile thing. We believe in strength." "Strength is important," Alex replied, holding her gaze. "But so is understanding. We have to find common ground." The air was thick with tension as murmurs rippled through the Tharkiv assembly. Leora stepped closer, her armor clanking softly. "You speak boldly for a human. Perhaps you believe your species holds wisdom." "I believe every species has something to teach us," he stated, feeling a spark of determination. "Should we put that to the test?" she challenged, crossing her arms. Before he could respond, Mia interjected. "What do you mean by test?" Leora gestured to the gathering. "We value physical prowess. A battle, perhaps? Proof that you are worthy of our trust." "Wait a minute," Alex said quickly, raising a hand. "We're not here to fight. We're here to negotiate, to find a more productive way to work together." The warriors exchanged glances, some subtly shifting their weight as if eager for a clash. Leora's brow furrowed, sensing the urgency in his voice. "Then how do you propose to earn our respect?" "Allow me to participate in a different challenge," Alex suggested. "Show you that intellect and strategy can rival brute force." "And if you fail?" Leora's eyes narrowed. "If I fail, you walk away from this partnership and report back that humans cannot be trusted," he answered. "Very well. Speak your terms," she replied, her interest piqued. "Let's hold a contest of wits. I can answer questions about human culture, history, or technology, anything that proves our capability and readiness to collaborate." Leora considered this, her expression unreadable. "You play with words as if they are swords. I accept your challenge." She turned her back and called to the assembly. "Prepare the arena. We will see if the human has more than just bravado." The crowd began to disperse, murmurs intensifying about the unexpected turn of events. Alex's heart raced. This was not what he had anticipated, but it might just show them humanity's true colors. "Alex, what are you thinking?" Mia asked as they followed Leora towards the gathering crowd. "I'm thinking that this is my chance to win their respect without resorting to violence," he replied, glancing back at Leora. "If I can demonstrate our values through knowledge and cooperation, it might lay the groundwork for something meaningful." As they reached the arena, he observed the Tharkiv warriors gather, their expressions shifting from skepticism to curiosity. Leora stood tall, her fierce gaze scanning the crowd. "I will begin with simple questions," she declared, her voice commanding the attention of everyone present. "The first, what is the primary motivation behind human exploration?" "Curiosity," Alex answered without hesitation. "We seek to understand the universe around us, to learn from it, and to grow." The Tharkiv murmured amongst themselves. Leora's brow creased slightly, intrigued. "Curiosity can lead to folly," she said, folding her arms. "Next question, what makes your species think it is superior?" "We don't think we are superior, but we do believe in the strength of collaboration," Alex explained. "Together, through cooperation, we can face challenges none of us can conquer alone." "Interesting." Leora met his eyes, a glimmer of respect emerging. "You speak well, but words alone do not ease distrust." Another warrior called out, "What if you face a situation with one of our own? Will you back down on kindness then?" "Kindness doesn't mean weakness," Alex replied firmly. "It's about strength and unity." We would find a solution together. Leora raised an eyebrow, seemingly challenged. And if we finish with further brutality? Then we would have failed each other, Alex admitted. But I believe there's always a path that honors both sides. After a series of questions and Alex's steady answers, he started seeing a shift in the Darkiv's demeanor, mere nods of consensus appearing. Final question, Leora said, her voice tinged with something deeper. What will you offer your partnership? Mutual knowledge and understanding, he said, his gaze unwavering. We can share advancements, cultures, and stories. Your strengths could become ours and vice versa. The crowd erupted into whispers, the warriors casting meaningful glances in one another's direction. Leora looked thoughtful, her expression softening. You are not what I expected, human, she admitted quietly, standing a little closer. Maybe that's our greatest strength, he responded, breaking into a faint smile. As their eyes locked, an unspoken connection began to form, hinting at a future neither had anticipated. The ground beneath them was unstable, yet Alex felt a sense of hope, perhaps kindness and intelligence could weave a tapestry that no amount of strength could unravel. And in that moment, as he stood before the Darkiv, surrounded by alien warriors, Alex knew that for all the obstacles ahead, this first step could lead to something extraordinary. Chapter 2, The Challenge. The morning sun broke over Scytheria, casting a golden hue across the landscape. Captain Alex Reynolds stood on the edge of the Darkiv's central arena, marveling at the sight of this vibrant world. The air trembled with anticipation, a palpable energy that made him feel alive. The warriors were already gathering, their imposing figures clad in intricate armor, casting long shadows in the early light. Ready for round 2, Captain? Mia asked, pulling him back to reality. More like hoping for a miracle, he replied wryly, glancing toward the bustling assembly. I need to prove we're not just a bunch of explorers looking for easy prey. Just stick to what you did yesterday, Mia encouraged, crossing her arms and leaning against the railing. You impressed them. Channel that energy. Alex took a deep breath, letting the fresh air fill his lungs. As he stepped into the arena, he could see Leora at the front, her stance unwavering as she watched him approach. Today, the Darkiv do not just want words. We wish for action, Leora announced, her voice booming. A challenge of intellect and strategy awaits. Tell me what you have in mind, Alex said, feeling the weight of the moment. 2 opponents, she explained, her eyes narrowing. You will face one of our best strategists, Kendar. If you wish to earn our trust, you must outthink him. Sounds fair enough, Alex replied, masking any trepidation. What are the rules? Leora gestured to the gathered crowd. You will each take turns proposing scenarios involving conflict or resource allocation. The one who provides the superior solution will win. Okay, Alex said, nodding at the concept. I think I can handle that. With a wave of her hand, Leora signaled Kendar to step forward. The warrior, tall and menacing, looked even more formidable up close. His expression was stern, a fierce determination etched on his face. Are you prepared to lose, human? Kendar taunted. Not if I can help it, Alex replied confidently, meeting the Darkiv's intense gaze. They took their positions at opposite ends of the arena, with Leora acting as the judge. Let the challenge begin, she declared. Kendar took the first turn, his voice booming. Imagine a situation where resources are scarce. You must decide who among your people receives food and supplies. How do you ensure loyalty while preventing dissent? Alex considered the scenario carefully. In such a situation, it's vital to prioritize transparency. Involve the community in decision-making, explain the reasoning behind allocations, and ensure everyone is aware of the situation. This fosters unity rather than division. Kendar nodded, though the corner of his mouth twitched. Was that a hint of respect? Not bad, human, he acknowledged. However, what if your people rebel? Alex smiled, ready for the counter. Then it becomes about adapting. Open a dialogue with the dissenters. Try to understand their grievances and negotiate solutions. It's crucial to remind them that unity benefits everyone. Leora raised a hand. Well thought out, Alex. Kendar, your reply. Kendar thought for a moment. Control is essential in times of scarcity. One must assert dominance or risk losing the populace. A firm hand can mold loyalty, but only through fear. Alex shook his head, feeling a surge of determination. Fear can backfire. History has shown that forced loyalty is fleeting and volatile. Sustainability comes from hearts and minds, not chains. The crowd murmured, caught between 2 differing philosophies. Leora's expression shifted, her interest deepening. Enough of food allocation. Kendar growled, frustration visible. Let's talk about warfare. If your forces are outnumbered 3-1, how do you engage? Alex considered the question, noting the eager faces surrounding him. First, I'd assess the battlefield and look for strategic advantages, higher ground, natural barriers. I focus on guerrilla tactics, using speed and stealth while harnessing surprise. The goal isn't just to fight, it's to outmaneuver. Kenner scoffed. Running and hiding? What use is that? Using brains over brawn is a valid strategy, Alex shot back. You might be strong, but if you underestimate your opponent's creativity, you may find yourself at a disadvantage. Leora stepped in. And you, Kenner? How do you propose to deal with a smaller force? Kenner smirked, his voice steady. With sheer force. Charge through them and show no mercy. Strength is paramount. Alex felt the weight of the challenge growing, yet excitement bubbled inside him. The stakes were high, and with every exchange, he felt more motivated to bridge the gap between their worlds. An aggressive approach costs lives, Alex replied, letting his conviction show. Your strength is valuable, but victory is more than a show of force. It's about finding the balance between compassion and strength. After several more rounds of questions, Alex felt the tension shift slightly in his favor. The warriors were whispering amongst themselves, contemplating his responses. Time for the final scenario. Leora declared, her tone excited. This one is personal. Imagine an incursion into your territory by another species. Your people are ready for combat. What do you do? Alex hesitated. This was loaded territory, but he had to be honest. I'd seek dialogue first. If negotiation fails, we must defend ourselves, but not without attempting peace. Humans have made mistakes in the past by rushing to violence. History teaches us the cost of collateral damage. Kender's expression darkened. You are naive. Inaction can lead to destruction. You would let your people suffer. No. I'd rather explore solutions deeply. If there's a chance for peace, I will take it, whatever the risks, Alex said, his voice resolute. If they retaliate with weapons, then we will fight to protect our home, but with the goal of finding a resolution. Leora nodded thoughtfully and turned to the crowd. What do you all think? Is there strength in compassion? The murmurs grew louder, and Alex caught snippets of supportive phrases amidst the doubts. Kenner, however, was calm yet unyielding. The human must be punished for his cowardice. Kenner shouted, his voice rising above the crowd. Cowardice? Alex shot back, standing tall. Choosing compassion is not cowardice, it's the hardest choice of all. It takes strength to understand when to fight and when to extend a hand. Leora raised both hands for silence. We will take a moment to deliberate. As the warriors huddled, Leora turned to Alex. You've stirred something in them. They will respect a commander who values intellect as much as strength. And Kenner, he asked, gesturing subtly toward the Darkiv strategist. He is set in his ways. But today you've planted seeds of doubt in his logic. You've shifted perspectives. Alex felt the weight of Leora's words. Maybe this challenge was more than a game, perhaps it was a step toward forging a real alliance, one built on mutual understanding. As the warriors began to break apart, Leora's crisp voice cut through the air. Let us return to the arena. The crowd quieted, their anticipation palpable. What would the conclusion be? Would this challenge lead to a newfound respect, and could it pave the path for a deeper relationship? With a steady heart, Alex stood ready, knowing that whatever happened next, he would not back down from his beliefs. Not now. Not ever. Chapter 3, A Fragile Bond. The sun had dipped below the horizon of Scytheria, wrapping the world in shades of violet and gold. Captain Alex Reynolds stood on the balcony of the Darkiv Council Hall, looking out over the alien landscape. He could hear the bustling of the warriors celebrating the conclusion of the day's events in the distance, laughter mingling with the low thrum of music. An impressive performance today, Captain, Leora said as she stepped onto the balcony beside him, her voice slicing through the evening air. You quelled some doubts among my people. Alex turned to her, the flicker of candlelight catching in her eyes. I appreciate that, but I could feel Kender's frustration. He's not one to back down easily. Leora crossed her arms, her gaze lingering on the horizon. Kender believes in strength above all else. Your approach challenged his worldview. But that doesn't mean he will stop there. True, Alex agreed, knowing there was still a long road ahead. But perhaps it's a conversation we can continue. Leora nodded slowly. Perhaps. But it is not just about Kender. It's about trust among my people. They struggle with change. Can I ask? Alex said cautiously. What is your view on all this? Do you lean more toward strength or compassion? She turned to him, her expression serious. Strength is essential. Keeps our society intact. But there is wisdom in compassion that many forget. Although showing vulnerability has its risks, it can forge deeper connections. I agree, Alex replied, feeling encouraged by their shared thoughts. Every time I speak with you, my perspective broadens. That is a curious sentiment for a human, she remarked, her brow arching slightly. Alex chuckled. Well, I'm not just here to speak. I want to build something meaningful with you. Do you? Her expression softened, though she maintained her warrior composure. What would you build? A partnership, he said firmly. Maybe a cultural exchange? We can share stories, art, history, anything to help our people better understand each other. Interesting proposal. But how do you envision this might start? Leora asked, intrigued yet cautious. Perhaps we could organize a gathering, Alex suggested. An event where both our cultures showcase their strengths, traditions, storytelling, even cuisine. It'd be a chance for us to connect more personally. Leora considered this. It could work, but will the warriors accept such a gathering? Some may see it as weakness. If we can show them the benefits, if they see the value in unity, then it might just change their perceptions, Alex replied. There's wisdom in your words, Captain. I will consider this, she said, the corners of her lips curling slightly. Just then, a commotion broke out nearby, drawing both their attention. A group of the Arkiv warriors was circling Kendar, who stood defiantly, arms crossed. His face was tense, laced with frustration. What's happening? Alex asked, concern creeping into his voice. It seems some wish to challenge his views after your discussions today, Leora replied, stepping forward instinctively. As they approached the group, Kendar's voice boomed over the crowd. What do you know of strength? You are quick to embrace what is foreign to you. You would undermine our ways? Undermining? No. I thought we were forging a path toward understanding, Alex countered, stepping into the circle. Another Tharkiv warrior, tall and burly with an intricate tattoo snaking up his arm, stepped forward. Your words imply that we are ignorant. Those who do not value strength will fall. Alex's heart raced. You misunderstand. Strength has its place, but so does compassion and understanding. We aim to secure our future and avoid conflict, which has cost lives on both sides. Kenner sneered. You are a fool. Look around you. Nature consents to the strongest, not the weakest. Strength without balance can lead to destruction, Alex replied, keeping his voice even. We have seen it in our own history. There are no true victors in endless conflict. A murmur rippled through the crowd, some nodding in contemplation. Leora looked at Alex, an approving yet anxious glint in her eyes. Perhaps we could showcase perspectives, Leora proposed. If different aspects of our cultures are highlighted, maybe it will help us see the value in one another. Kendar growled. Today's challenge was just a folly. Now you're talking about parades? It's a dilution of what we stand for. Leora maintained her composure, staring Kendar down. If you seek to challenge new ideas, you must also understand your limitations. This could enrich all of us. Amidst the tension, Alex interjected, Kendar, what if we were to invite you to share a demonstration of the Arkiv strength? Your skills could be a cornerstone of this event. Show us what makes you proud. Kendar paused, the fire in his eyes flickering slightly. A demonstration? You mean to showcase my might? Exactly. Alex nodded. And we can showcase our own strengths as well, art, strategy, perhaps even a friendly competition of skill. The murmurings continued, but Kendar seemed more contemplative now than defiant. You think your culture has anything to match my skills? I believe we can plea, but noticeable curiosity had begun to eclipse hostility. Finally, Kendar grunted. Fine. If we do this, I will show my strength, but do not expect me to embrace your kindness. The tension in the air eased slightly as murmurs turned to nods of agreement. Great! Alex exclaimed, placing a hand on Kendar's shoulder without thinking. Let's make this event a celebration of who we are. Kendar shrugged him off, but Alex could see a flicker of intrigue in his eyes. Leora smiled, satisfaction evident. As the crowd began to disperse, she turned to Alex. You handled it well, Captain. You didn't back down, but you also didn't provoke. I just want to build bridges, not walls, he said, wiping the sweat from his brow. However, I know this is just the beginning. Yes, but every beginning holds promise, Leora noted, her demeanor warming. You have shown more than I expected. Alex couldn't help but smile. Thank you. I think we both might learn from this. Perhaps, she replied, her eyes gleaming with understanding. But let us focus on the gathering. If we can align our strengths, it may open doors we have yet to see. Agreed, he said, the excitement of their shared goals energizing him. As they stood together, the fading sunlight casting shadows across the vibrant terrain. Alex couldn't shake the feeling that they were at the cusp of something profound. A new path forged not just by strength or strategy, but by an emerging connection between two distinct worlds. Chapter 4: Unity or Division. Preparations for the cultural gathering were in full swing, and Alex Reynolds felt a whirlwind of excitement and anxiety. The towering halls of the Tharkiv Council had transformed into a vibrant tapestry of color and sound, decorated with luminescent fabrics and illuminated by floating orbs. Leora appeared determined, moving through the crowd with an air of authority as she guided her people in organizing the event. "It's coming together well," Mia noted, stepping beside Alex as they observed the scene. "Everyone seems engaged." "Yeah, but I still can't shake the feeling that tension lingers just beneath the surface," Alex replied, scanning the crowd for Kendar. "He'll be here," Mia assured him. "Let's hope he's willing to play nice." "Let's hope so." Alex turned just as Leora approached, her expression serious. "Captain, the warriors are prepared to showcase their strengths, but Kendar remains resistant. He believes this is beneath the Tharkiv. He's got to see the value in the gathering," Alex said. "If we can just get him to understand that these displays can strengthen bonds rather than undermine them, we might turn the tide." Leora nodded, but her eyes betrayed her concern. "I will speak with him. Perhaps I can sway him to see the bigger picture." As she moved away, Alex felt a mix of admiration and trepidation. He hoped Leora could soften Kendar's heart enough to allow for a successful event. "Do you think she can change his mind?" Mia asked, her voice low. "I guess we'll find out," Alex replied, glancing at the various groups setting up booths. "We still need to finalize our side of the gathering. We have to show that humanity can bring something valuable to the table." "I'm ready," Mia said, clasping her hands together. "I've got some ideas for our showcase. Let's meet with the others." "Great. Lead the way," Alex said, feeling a surge of energy. As they headed toward their designated area, Alex shared ideas with Mia on how to demonstrate human culture effectively, interactive displays of art, music, and even some of their culinary specialties. "Mia, you could set up the simulation booth for exploration," he suggested eagerly. "Absolutely. I could give them a virtual reality tour of Earth," she replied, her face lighting up. "Imagine the looks on their faces when they see everything we've accomplished." "Exactly. We'll focus on connecting cultures and showing that we're more than just explorers. We're creators." With renewed vigor, they set to work, gathering materials and organizing their presentation. Before long, laughter and excitement filled the air as they engaged with some curious Tharkiv warriors who came to check out the human side of the gathering. Hours passed, and the day of the event arrived, the atmosphere charged with anticipation. As twilight settled in, the council hall glowed, casting enchanting patterns on the surrounding structures. Leora emerged, regal in her presence, her voice commanding attention. "Warriors of the Tharkiv and our human guests, we gather today to share our strengths, our traditions, and to embark on a journey toward unity." She gestured toward the seating arrangement, filled with curious warriors and humans alike, a blend of cultures standing shoulder to shoulder. Kendar stood at the front, arms crossed, his demeanor skeptical. "This is foolishness. We should be preparing for battle, not engaging in trivial displays." Leora steeled herself. "Kendar, today offers a different kind of strength, a chance for understanding and collaboration." Glancing around. "Let's see what these humans can really offer." Alex stepped forward, his heart racing as he met Kendar's gaze. "We bring our traditions and stories, just as you do. Allow us the opportunity to show that our histories have value." Kendar raised an eyebrow. "Very well, but know that if you disappoint us, there will be consequences." "Trust me, we want to impress you," Alex said, forcing a smile. "Let's begin the showcase." They set off on a tour, starting with Mia's virtual reality booth. As the Tharkiv warriors queued with curiosity, Mia expertly led them through landmarks of Earth, vast mountains, bustling cities, and serene landscapes. The warriors murmured in awe, captivated by the sights. "Do you see that?" Kendar said, trying to shatter the moment. "Those are distractions. Look at the vulnerabilities of their world." Alex replied hastily, "But those distractions show you who we are. We're creators, dreamers, and explorers." One elder Tharkiv, her eyes glinting with curiosity, chimed in, "Tell us more about this vastness." "It is intriguing," Mia interjected, thrilled. "Exactly. Each setting has a story, a history. What's incredible is that you'll find resilience within every challenge we faced, not just brute force." Kendar nodded slightly but remained skeptical. Next, the culinary segment began. Alex introduced various human dishes, explaining their significance. This is a dish called paella, a Spanish creation that celebrates community gatherings. Each ingredient symbolizes togetherness, much like today's event. The Tharkiv warriors plated the food hesitantly at first but soon dove in with gusto, delight lighting up their expressions. This flavor. It's complex, exclaimed one warrior, clearly impressed. Not too bad for a weak human. Kenna remarked, a hint of begrudging respect creeping in. Alex caught Leora's eye, sensing she was hopeful. Let's showcase a traditional dance next, he suggested, feeling the excitement build. With enthusiastic nods from Mia and Leora, they positioned themselves into a small circle. This is a traditional dance from Earth, signifying unity and togetherness, Alex explained, demonstrating a few steps. Laughter erupted when Mia joined in, clumsily imitating Alex's movements, and soon other humans began to join, beckoning the Tharkiv warriors to participate. Kendar remained stiff but watched closely, unable to stifle curiosity. Join us. This is not battle. It's celebration, Alex encouraged. A few warriors stepped forward cautiously, their warrior instincts battling their excitement. With a few laughs, the awkward dance transformed into a delightful spectacle, leading to a shared, joyous atmosphere. As the music swelled, Kendar finally stepped into the circle. Hesitant at first, he caught the rhythm and even managed to smile, albeit subtly. There, you see, we can learn from each other, Leora exclaimed, looking at Alex, her pride evident. As the evening unfolded, the warriors and humans began exchanging stories, sharing tales of courage, loss, and resilience. They poured their traditions into the vibrant atmosphere until the barriers began to dissolve, replaced by understanding and camaraderie. Perhaps there is value in this, Kendar admitted quietly to Leora as they observed the festivities from the side. But it may take time for many to see it. Yes, time and synchronization, Leora replied, her expression softer. But moments like this forge connections. Alex, catching snippets of their conversation, couldn't help but feel a wave of gratitude. It's a good start, one we can build on. Agreed, Kendar replied, a hint of warmth softening his voice. But there will always be those who resist change. And those who embrace it, Leora said, her demeanor upbeat. Together, we can help to guide them. As night deepened, laughter and camaraderie echoed under the stars. For the first time, a true bridge of understanding seemed to stretch between the Tharkiv and humanity. Alex felt hopeful for the future, knowing that beneath their differences, threads of unity began to weave a fabric from strength and kindness, creating a picture that could transcend cultural clashes, a shared journey that had just begun. Chapter 5, A New Dawn. The celebrations had made the night feel electric. As the vibrant festivities wound down, the stars provided a serene backdrop to a night filled with laughter and stories exchanged across the cultural divide. Alex Reynolds stood under the shimmering sky, watching as warriors and humans mingled, their earlier apprehensions melting away under the weight of shared experiences. Mia nudged him, breaking his reverie. Look at them. I never thought it could come together like this. It's amazing, isn't it? Alex replied, still absorbing the moment. There's something powerful about people coming together. Leora approached them, her face lit with a genuine smile. Captain, I must commend you. What you've done today is unprecedented among my people. Thanks, Leora. I couldn't have done it without everyone's collaboration, he said, glancing around. Everyone here played a part. A sudden cheer erupted nearby and they turned to see Kendar in the middle of a group, laughing heartily as he shared a friendly competition of strength with a group of humans. Even Kendar seems to be enjoying himself, Leora remarked, a twinkle in her eyes. He surprised us all, Alex said, feeling a light surge of pride. It looks like he's softening up. Leora's expression shifted slightly. Just remember that not everyone sees today's events as a success. Some warriors remain skeptical. I get that, Alex replied, leaning forward slightly. But changing minds is a process, right? This is just a start. As the night continued, Leora extended her hand toward the dining area where the communal feast had been laid out. Shall we? They walked together, and Alex noticed a Tharkiv warrior, a female named Rayla, observing them from a distance. Are you curious about our strength? Rayla called out, her voice commanding but curious. Strength has many forms, Alex answered, not wanting to challenge her outright. What does strength mean to you? Endurance in battle. The prowess to protect. Rayla declared, stepping closer. But today I see another side to you humans, the ability to create community. Exactly. Community means we can stand together even if we don't always agree, Alex said, gesturing for her to join them. Then show us what else your community can offer, Rayla challenged, her tone shifting from confrontational to inquisitive. I'd love to. What interests you? Alex countered enthusiastically. Your stories. You spoke of tradition, but I wish to know of your ancestry, where you come from. Rayla's curiosity sparkled in her fierce gaze. I can share a story, but you have to share one in return, he proposed, his excitement bubbling. Fine, Rayla agreed, crossing her arms. You first. Alex took a deep breath, trying to capture the essence of his lineage. I come from a place called Earth. My ancestors traveled across oceans and mountains, facing difficult choices and sacrifices, much like your warriors. They sought freedom, a chance to build lives, not just survive. The spirit of exploration lives on in me. Rayla listened intently, her expression shifting slightly from skepticism to contemplation. Freedom can be a powerful motivator. And what do you seek now? Is it also freedom? Partly, he admitted. But I also seek connection. I want to understand not just your strength, but your cultures, your stories. The more we share, the stronger we become. Leora and Mia looked on, intrigued by the conversation. Rayla nodded slowly. All right, I shall share a story. In my clan, we have a tradition. Once a year, in the height of summer, we have a festival for those we've lost. It's a sacred time where we celebrate their lives and ensure their spirits are honored. We dance, sing, and remember. That sounds beautiful, Alex said, genuinely moved. Do you believe their spirits join you? Yes, Rayla replied, her demeanor softening. It reminds us of our strength. Their sacrifices were not in vain. Hey, do you think we could incorporate something like that into a cultural exchange? Mia chimed in. A remembrance segment would resonate well with our people. An interesting thought. The mixing of traditions could forge a stronger bond. Leora added, enthusiasm bubbling to the surface. Perhaps we could create a collaboration event, a celebration of life and community for both our people. Rayla suggested, her brow furrowing in thought. Exactly. We could share stories, teach each other our dances, and invite those who wish to contribute in remembrance. It could become an annual event, Leora proposed, her excitement evident. I like that idea, Alex said, loving the direction the conversation was headed. A fusion of stories and traditions could show that we both honor strength and memory. They continued their lively discussion as more warriors gathered, intrigued by the growing alliance forming before them. Kenner joined them, arms crossed, though his stance seemed less rigid now. What is this? A plan to dilute our traditions? It's not dilution, Kenner, Leora interjected, meeting his gaze. This could strengthen our alliances and broaden our understanding. I'm skeptical, Kender said, eyeing Alex closely. What happens if it fails? Then we learn and pivot, Alex replied. But if we do nothing, we miss the opportunity to connect. That's far worse. Bold words for a human, Kenner commented, though there was a hint of intrigue in his voice. Maybe, Alex admitted. But wouldn't you prefer to see what happens when we all come together? Kender fell silent, contemplating. Perhaps, he finally said. I'd be willing to witness this creation. I will not back down from a challenge. Then it's settled. Leora declared, enthusiasm radiating. Let's begin preparations for this cultural remembrance. The energy surrounding them shifted, brimming with potential. As conversations flowed, Alex felt a new bond forming, not just between warriors and humans, but between individuals fueled by a shared vision. Days turned into weeks as plans took shape for the upcoming gathering of remembrance. The logistics of combining two cultures seemed daunting at times, but with effective teamwork, the once clear lines now blurred. The day of the event dawned, filled with vivid colors and scents from both cultures converging under a sprawling canopy of stars. Warriors prepared songs and dances while humans brought dishes and crafted stories that would interlace with the Tharkiv traditions. As the sun dipped below the horizon again, Alex stood beside Leora, watching their two societies come together once more. Look, she said, her tone filled with awe. They are beginning to connect. That's the power of sharing and understanding, he replied. And it's only the beginning, Leora said softly, glancing at him. You've opened a door I didn't know existed, Captain. Together, we'll keep that door wide open, Alex promised, his heart full of anticipation. The laughter and music began to swell, intertwining with stories shared around flickering fires, a community growing, breaking ground, and soaring into new horizons. In that moment, standing on the brink of a new chapter, Alex realized they weren't just blending cultures, they were weaving a richer tapestry of existence, one thread at a time.